Samtastic, back with more Guild Wars, as we bring you a cinematic opening. We are in Umbral Grotto because we are going to be doing Slaver's Exile, and I wonder, these plants look a lot like iboga. Should we just let them grow here until they start attacking people? Oh, I don't know, it's not my problem. Alright, so to do Slaver's Exile, we need to go get the quest, The Last Hierophant, which you get right here. Conveniently, it's also the entrance to the dungeon. We will be doing most of Slaver's Exile in normal mode, but I'm going to go ahead and complete the final section of it in hard mode, just because that's actually all you need to do in order to get hard mode credit for the dungeon. And let's take a look here at skill bars. So you know this one quite well, I'm sure, if you've been watching the videos, but it's Onslaught, Zealous Sweep, Aura Slicer, Crippling Victory, Twin Moon Sweep, Balthazar's Rage, Attacker's Insight, and Pain Inverter. And then for Master of Whispers, we've got, I'll go ahead and read them off, why not? Ravenous Gaze, Blood Bond, Mend Body and Soul, Spirit Light, Signet of Lost Souls, Protective Voice Kowlai, Life, and Death Pact Signet. Gwen is going to be Psychic Instability, Signet of Disruption, Cry of Frustration, Diversion, Power Leak, Power Spike, Power Drain, and Channeling. Raza is Soul Twisting, Disenchantment, Dissonance, Anguish, Displacement, Union, Shadow Song, and Spirit's Gift to work in conjunction with Xandra's Signet of Spirits, Blood Song, Ancestor's Rage, Gaze from Beyond, Essence Strike, Painful Bond, Splinter Weapon, and Flesh of My Flesh. Talcora coming up in the rear with the heals here with Word of Feeling, Love. Word of Healing, Healing Ribbon, Heaven's Delight, Patient Spirit, Guardian, Dismiss Condition, Cure Hex, and Restore Life. Elias has Aura of the Lich, Masochism, Animate Bone Fiend, Blood of the Master, Putrid Bile, Mark of Pain, Well of Suffering, and Signet of Lost Souls. Vec is going to be running with Unsteady Ground, Stoning, Stone Daggers, Eruption, Ward Against Melee, Ward of Weakness, Earth Attunement, and Glyph of Lesser Energy. We should be able to use all of those builds throughout this tutorial, with the exception of the final mission, which is going to have a couple of significant changes. We'll get to those when we come to it, but I'll go ahead and post those in the description of this video, and probably in the subsequent videos as well. We're going to head out into the Verdant Cascades, throw on your Asura title if you've got it. If you don't, then go get it. I mean, you shouldn't be doing the Elite Dungeon in Eye of the North unless you've at least gotten your Asura title to rank 1, right? And we're just going to head on our happy way, which is essentially this route that-a-ways. There might be an advantage to going the north side of that mountain. I can't remember. I think I'm going to just sort of, I don't know, play it by ear, as they say. Play it by eye. I'm going to play it by eye. I'm going to look at it and see. I think we don't actually have a choice coming up on it. But regardless, there's a monk boss that you can avoid, so it makes it relatively easy even on normal mode. I mean, even on hard mode, is kind of what I meant. But I've vanquished all this area, so not particularly difficult one way or the other. I really feel like this is louder than it usually is, but I did also notice that my mic was turned way down in the settings, and I fixed that, and I'm having like all these problems trying to get this video going. It's been obnoxious, to say the least. So I think it looks like we can avoid those guys, but it won't be much of a problem if we have to encounter them. You can cut through here and go the north way if you want to, but I don't really feel like it's necessary. You can just sort of go right where your sight takes you. We're just going to hug this wall right here. And this mission that we're doing for the Last Hierophant, being the quest that you take for Slaver's Exile, is to defeat Talcora. That's got to be Talcora back there. Yeah. She's like, oh, I gotta save the undead. Like, no, you don't. You gotta stick with the party. So, we're going to defeat Justicar Thommis and Rend Stormweaver, or something like that. He's some idiot centaur. We're just gonna slaughter him. So, that is what we will be doing. One of the reasons that you would want to do Slaver's Exile, on top of just having the completion under your belt, because it's nice to have finished it, is that you can get Voltaic Spears from the chests at the end when you complete, when you kill the bosses, basically. So that could be very nice. So you notice we've only killed 4 enemies so far. because they're pretty sparsely spread out, and if you just keep moving, then I mean, who knows if my undead killed some enemies when I wasn't looking, but it's pretty simple. It looks like we're going to encounter these guys because I didn't feel like waiting for them to finish their tour. But they get knocked down for 4 seconds, and then we kill them. No big deal. But if you weren't aware, I am going to be completing this dungeon in multiple parts because each section can actually be done completely different times from one another. Bridge Troll. Foo, fi, fo, fum. I found that just really entertaining. This guy is not difficult at all, but they actually have a bridge troll, just a big troll that runs around on that bridge. So we've killed 10 enemies so far. We're going to have to pick off a few more, but in the meantime we can just stop here and appreciate the... Oh, it's hard to appreciate the beauty when you can't get a good shot of it, but here we are. Waterfalls. One of the things that I think has really made Guild Wars a great game is how pretty it actually looks. And Guild Wars 2 does not disappoint. It also looks quite gorgeous in its own kind of way, which is really refreshing because I'm kind of used to MMOs looking pretty drab. Just in general, not saying that all of them do except for Guild Wars 2. It's just something that seems to be that a lot of them are guilty of it, but not Guild Wars 2. And that's it down there, which we may actually not have to fight those guys at all. The Wind Riders are a bit of a pain. I think they might use... I'm trying to remember what their elite skills are. But yeah, it looks like they're going to snag on the undead, and we're safe there. Conjure Phantasm. That's it? That's all you got? I'm disappointed. We don't get to see, but you can look them up. They're called Wind Riders. They might have Panic in hard mode or something like that. I remember they're particularly annoying in hard mode, but nothing too crazy. So here we are, Slaver's Exile. And this is actually where you go to... This guy is who you talk to forge your destroyer weapons.
By the bear.
And they're expensive, but I got 2 and I don't need any more. So here we are. I have many stories. This unfortunate tale began only a few weeks ago. My brothers received word that the last of the Stone Summit Hierophants has gathered a force of enslaved creatures. One of his slaves chafes I'm having difficulties. Chafes enough of his collar to risk a message to his master's enemies, and has told us the Hierophant Duncan seeks to harness the power of the recently defeated Great Destroyer's soul. Can you not do this one if you haven't finished Eye of the North? Wow. Well, I didn't know. My brothers rejoiced at these tidings, resolving to wait until the Hierophant has completed his ritual so that they may stage a glorious battle. You may say it's not very Norn of me, but it might be wise for someone to confront Duncan the Black before he has the chance to harness the power of this dread creature. And so this is the person from whom you get the Last Hierophant. Though I think he just gives it to you automatically. But here we are, Justicar Thommis, Rand Stormweaver, Seveltarm, Forge Right, and Duncan the Black. And I think that though Justicar Thommis his dungeon actually has 2 bosses, they tend to be a little bit easier to kill both of them than I think it might be Forge Right or I had some difficulties with the other dungeons. This is the one that I started clearing first. So maybe it's just that I'm more used to it, but I have done Slavers a couple times. Ooh! Spontaneous Spirit of Pain, which these spirits will just randomly pop up. And now that we're in here, there's no reason to have the Asuran title. That's a friends list. Wrong thing. So we're going to not say we're not too shabby, and there's no reason for it, but we're going to go ahead and just throw on the Legendary Delver in case some destroyers try to come up and start trouble. because it's the only title that would actually have a benefit here. Oh, and before we go any further, I'm sorry, you want to talk to that Beacon of Draknar. If you don't have a maxed Dwarven title, then it will help you max your Dwarven title. If you do have a maxed Dwarven title, then you get morale bonuses and all kinds of fun stuff. So we want to just we're just going to poke those, and they'll come at us, and then we'll end up attacking a wall of spirits. And the warders, the warders are actually the most dangerous, I think. So those are the guys that you want to take out first, and then the dreamers have resurrection chance. So those are the guys that are going to make your life a living hell down here. And you guys are running around like rats. I don't know what you're doing, but we managed to narrowly survive that. If it's your first time down here and you really don't want to have to come back a second time, it might make sense of you to actually bring some death penalty removal. But some of these enemies are going to respawn spontaneously. So while we're doing this, I'm actually going to just stop right here and double check to make sure that my sound levels are okay, because that music seems kind of loud, and if it's fine, then I want to leave it, but yes. Well, that seems to be perfect, so we're good. We're just going to creep up on our happy way up this hill. You saw that little hole down there? We're not going that way. We're going to go this way, and we're going to take out the summoner is going to make undead that we hate so much. The warder is what we want to really mess up, so I'm going to go ahead and flag him, and then, or tag him, or whatever it would be. And then you can hit T to go to that target, or click there. And that way, even if he does manage to get off his spells, it will do him more harm than good. Ward against melee, huh? Well, the Dreamer, the Contaminator. You want to watch out, because they often have more than one Dreamer and more than one way to resurrect their fallen comrades. And so you just want to make sure that those warders don't get resurrected and left to whatever they want to do. So just keep your eye on where their corpses lay, basically. And that was a much more favorable engagement. We'll try to keep it like that. Area map. This is going to be helpful to us. Right over here, off in that direction, that is Justicar Thommis, and we're going to go ahead and tear his face off like in Face Off first. And wretched wolves are not scary to me, but some of the other things that are around them can be overwhelming in large numbers, so we're just going to go ahead and pull them back. Make sure that you're careful pulling if you have just a berserker. Be careful pulling if you have splinter weapon on you, because you can end up accidentally pulling far too many enemies, just as a reminder. And see, now we're actually engaging quite a large group. Take out that priest. They are putting themselves in a very unfavorable engagement, as it turns out. So it was good to hug that wall. Now we have plus 20 armor, because I'm awesome like that. And we don't want to let too many of these guys slip past us, but I think we'll be okay, because they're trying to take out spirits. They seem to be okay. That was actually a great spot to engage. I have to recommend that one, because they clumped up. Defender. And we just got that one dude left. There's one of those spirits I was talking about. Disenchantment. Unfortunately, that can be detrimental to this build, but we're gonna just pick those off as we see them, because they're not actually bound to any casters. They just appear on their own. You can kill them without luring anybody. So we are actually going to come back over by this wall, because that was such a great spot to engage. and then I'm going to go ahead and hit that warder, and then hopefully he'll get close enough that you don't want to back all the way up to your guys. So go ahead and hit him out there, so that way he'll attack the undead, not all of your heroes. Go ahead and unflag your heroes so that they have the freedom to run around if needed. And once we take out these guys in the forefront, then we can move on back and find... There's a priest. That should be good. I think the warder's already gone. Nope, the warder's right there. So we'll make him pay next. And see, he's got a resurrection signet. So they can all raise each other quite easily. Signet of return. So one of the things that can be an advantage to you is to bring frozen soil, but I've actually never really had great success with frozen soil. So I just don't use it. I've managed to just, I guess, put together a party well enough and abuse walls well enough that I haven't needed it in any situation. Though I have sometimes been messed up pretty bad by enemies using it. To say nothing about Rot Scale. Oh my god, that fight's a pain. But fortunately, it occurs right next to a shrine that allows you to remove your party's death penalty. Contaminator and Defender, yep, not scary. Contaminator we'll go ahead and hit with Pain Inverter, just in case he thinks he's funny or something. And pop this locked chest. There we go. I retained my lockpick and got some useless purple item. You do get quite a few drops with the number of enemies that you kill, so I may not be able to pick up everything, or I may have to throw some whites on the ground, but it's okay. Now, when you start engaging these groups, see how that's a lot of enemies? You might need to back out of here. It's sort of... Oh, good. He got killed before Pain Inverter went off, because I was like, why did I just put Pain Inverter on the monk? As though he was a Mersat. But you can end up pulling far too many enemies, but there are a couple of ways that can be to your advantage. Because you get to sort of stretch the groups apart. That warder is not your friend. I think he must have used his resurrection signet, because that healer was brought back. The priest. And he's out for the count. And so you just want to sort of pull them back in groups and use that door as sort of your fallback plan. Keep your eye on that warder, but we're not going to have to fight him yet. See that? Splinter weapon. I wasn't really paying attention. And we're going to take the defender out first. Make sure that those guys don't do too much damage, but it looks like they're snagged on the undead anyway. So we are good there. They tend to follow you back quite a ways, so you can split up these early groups quite easily. Again, I don't think that we're going to have to engage him yet, but we got the marksman. Oh, yep, he's on his way. He's on his way. And there's actually Justicar Thommis. So we're good here. Go ahead and pull them an extra time just to make sure. And that warder is going to be our first target. And we may need to bail, but I think because we separated from that group up there so successfully on our first try, we won't have to. That warder's back alive. Make sure he stays dead. Got Sandstorm shut down, which is good. The Dreamer has a reusable resurrection. And the Summoner we want to go down. And watch out right there. I'm almost in aggro range, so we're going to pull back a little bit. And Justicar Thommis is going to get owned. This is actually even more successful than I anticipated, so I'm happy about that. And see that chest of the slaver? We want to open that, so we're we're going to actually have to take out these guys, and I think we can do it all in one go here. Yep, they're going to be easy enough. So we're going to start with the priest. Easy enough. Demolisher. Wretched Wolf. It's not going to be a very difficult group compared to what we just dealt with, but taking out the summoners will be good so that they don't resurrect anybody, or they don't resurrect any undead. I think mine outnumber theirs though. And having that dwarf blessing can be quite helpful. Shadow Song. So let's see what's in here. Iridescent Aegis. That's kind of cool. What's it look like? Oh, it's just one of those. So we'll try that on for size. Looks cool. Pretty snazzy. I like how it looks, definitely. Here's the one that I got out of the Zaishin chest. But I like that. That's pretty. I wonder if it can be dyed. No clue. But it's got a much too high a requirement. It requires 11 command, so I'm definitely going to be throwing that one in the garbage. Defeating Justicar Thommis, once that chest appears, this wall also gets knocked down, which makes life simple, because you can just sort of come back this way. And then we can also avoid this whole stretch right here, because we'd need to go along this bottom part. You can backtrack and head back up there. It's not too difficult, but we're not going to. We're going to cut along the bottom, because we're going to do the shortest route. And we just need to go kill Rand Stormweaver. Now this whole thing, this is going to be, it's a pain. It's a pain for sure. So you want to be careful, but all of these enemies that are over here, all of these guys are they're gonna like pop back up. They basically regenerate themselves. So warder. Oh, that's not good. The warder needs to go. We may need to back up a little bit if this doesn't go according to plan. We should be able to get enough AoE on this clumped up lump of wretched wolves right here, though. And I can go ahead and get Pain Inverter back on him, and that should help a lot too. Looking good, looking good. Okay, so we're okay in this little spot right there. Be mindful, though, that we are being attacked by yet another group, and that warder is still alive. So, hopefully we can survive long enough. I'm tanking a lot of damage, it seems like, right here. Good stuff. They're all stuck on me. Oh, there's another warder right here. So he's gone. They're gone. The priest needs to go. This doorway seemed to be a great place to engage, so I think I'm kind of happy about that. And we're going to pop out here and pick off the summoner. And because those enemies will reappear, we're going to actually ignore that group over there. You can actually glitch and like end up inside this pyramid. I've had that happen. It's pretty weird. I don't know exactly what causes, like at what point you can slip through. I've had heroes get stuck in it, which was really annoying, but managed to eventually get them out with enough toying around. But I think that the real key is to just not go near that pyramid at all. Just don't go next to it, and you're good. So the reason I'm letting these guys stand on top of me is because I'm not fighting Earth Ellies. And there's a Spirit of Recuperation, which hopefully the undead won't feel the need to attack. Okay, they don't. Good, those are all spirits over there, and they're not even able to hit it. So here we are in this room. This actually, one of the other dungeons that you deal with, this doorway's open, and you can go in there, so that's a whole different... I don't remember which one it is. I think it's... you have to fight some other undead dude or something. In any case, we're not doing that now. And we're going to go ahead and pick off these spirits. And we're going to watch that pattern right there to see how these enemies split up. And I think we may be able to... we may be able to take them just like that. Yep. Yep, that was beautiful. Don't stand in the churning earth if you can avoid it. Look at them scatter like little bunnies. Roaches, something like that. They were scattering though. Yeah. Did the warder pop back up? I saw somebody using a res signet. Nope, we're good. That was fantastic. I can deal with that. Locked chest. Definitely protected by enemies. We are going to... I don't want the shadow song to stay alive, so we're going to pick that one off so it doesn't blind me. And then I think... yeah, we'll just pick off these wolves. And he's just a contaminator, so nobody too terrifying here. Wow. Okay, that makes me happy. Gwen used Psychic Instability, presumably, on that Centaur because he was interrupted while using Trample. And Trample normally knocks down the target. And it makes me happy that he got knocked down instead. So let's see what we get. A Grim Cesta, but I broke my lockpick. Albino Rat, area map. We don't need either of those. And again, these are... a lot of these enemies aren't actually clumped together, so it doesn't make this particularly difficult. You might be able to pull it off in hard mode. I think I actually have done this dungeon in hard mode before, just to try it out. Just because I'm so comfortable with the enemy movements and the area itself. So here we go. I think we're going to end up with... did we bite off more than we can chew? Nope. Nope. We're definitely set up here. Wretched wolves. Wolves. I'm quick on the draw with my hotkeys, you can tell that, right? Whoa! I accidentally hit Pain Inverter. That's okay. Whatever. They're all dying. None of them shall survive this onslaught. Get it? This onslaught. Ha! Onslaught. That skill. Okay, here's another great place to abuse the walls. Oh, disenchantment. Kill it. Kill it. And the warder. Dead. And again, watch for that warder to make sure. Oh, this is looking great. Yep, the warder's back up, so we just want to kill him again. But with the right builds, you can use his life to actually end other people's lives. It's fun. But honestly, those warders are, I think, the singly most dangerous enemy. What am I talking about? The warders are the most dangerous out of all of the enemies that you encounter in here, in my opinion. Which is why I keep going on about them and focusing them down so quickly. And dismissing like everything else that I'm encountering. Ooh, 100 gold. And another locked chest. We're almost there, but that doesn't mean that we're almost done. Oh, broke another lockpick. Dang it. There's another warder. Another beacon of Draknar, which would be good for you if you didn't already max your title. Disenchantment, huh? What you want to do, instead of trying to sneak up there, we're actually going to pick off, because you notice they're patrolling. Trying to catch me riding dirty. Well, we want to try to pick them off so that we don't end up encountering too many of them at a time. Is basically the gist of it. So just start along the outside and move your way in. Wretched wolf. Summoner, summoner, summoner. Yeah, we're good. They're pretty much all melee. Oh, but watch it. There's a warder right there. And this could go horribly wrong. We'll see. The bone minion is not of importance. But we just killed them all. Why am I stuck? Oh, you can't walk in that. That's why. So that actually kind of qualified as a wall, but just a wall they could shoot through. But since all of the crap there was non-projectile anyway. Oh my god. Wretched wolf. That's a lot of wretched wolves, but fortunately, this is a lot of undead. And a lot of spirits. So I think we'll be okay. They're just weakling assassins. But you see how this is actually, I didn't realize that this would be such an excellent strategic position. It makes it really difficult for them to surround you next to this little creek thing, or this little pond right here. So that's fantastic. They qualify as Skelk. Who would have thought? And right up there, we're going to go ahead and pick those guys off. I just want to... I don't know if we need to. Let's see. We'll do it now. I was going to say I just want to get that chest first, but there's a warder. And as soon as I stand up, there we go. And that was kind of the only dangerous thing. That priest can deal with it by dying. That's his way of coping. His coping mechanism is death. And again, just another big pack of wretched wolves. I want to go for the biggest group here. Oh, those are my spirits. Okay. Good job. I wish they wouldn't all run around like this. It's really annoying. Ooh, a lockpick. Fantastic. Well, there's that locked chest. Shadow Song is not going to be by enemies, so not a big deal. Just kill it. And, I broke my new lockpick and got some stupid purple. Seriously, guys. Come over here and kill this spirit. Dominator, what have we got? Warder, Distractor, Dominator. This may be kind of a tough group, but it's the boss group, so what do you expect? We're going to go straight for the guts here. Guts or glory. Do quite well, I might add. Oh, and we gain plus 20 armor. Jeez. Yeah, catch them all unawares like that. I can't remember. I think there's one of the bosses in this dungeon will spawn more enemies when you kill him, and I don't remember if this one is it or not. I don't know, but it might be. I know you have to kill the entire boss's group before you can claim their chest. Yep, right there. Good call. So that's supposed to be able to overwhelm you, I guess, even though his chest is already there. He just spawns more enemies upon his death. And we're going to grab that tall shield just so the suspense kills you. And open the chest of the slaver and see what we get. Ooh, a diamond. Too bad I just bought a bunch of those from the merchant and don't need them anymore. Well, they're worth like 7k. Not too bad. So there we are. We defeated Justicar Thommis and ran Stormweaver. Next we're going to follow up with Seveltarm's dungeon. And you can continue running around in here killing things if you want to, but it's not necessary. I think if you resign, you go back to the entrance to Slaver's Exile. We're about to find out. Nope. Straight back to Umbral Grotto. There's some trick to it. Well, maybe it's just that one. In any case, maybe you could just walk back out the door. We'll figure that out at a later time. We have finished part 1 of the Slaver's Exile tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. There will be more, so click like if you liked it, click subscribe if you want to see more, and you will see me later.